Thank you, Scott. Let me start by giving thanks to MEC, Mississippi Economic Council, for your leadership in the business community and working with us here at the state capitol in trying to bring a solution to this major crisis that we have in front of us. Let me also give thanks to my colleagues, the Lieutenant Governor, who is considered to be my boss, who appointed me or reappointed me to the position as Chairman of Highways and Transportation, and to my colleagues across the hallway. I agree with what the speaker said, as well as my cohort, Chairman Busby. We are committed to working towards resolving this problem. I have heard none of them say to me at any given time that we don't recognize that there's a problem and we need to correct it. We just have kind of a different approach sometimes for communicating and how we do it. And I've probably been one of the ones who've been a little bit more vocal on we got to do something. And I guess that comes with the fact that, as Scott indicated, I have been working on it now as chairman for some 6 years, and then as chairman of the Appropriation Committee on Transportation in the Senate, looking at it for another 2 years. So for many years now, we have been looking at the situation, and we recognize many years ago that we had a problem in dealing with an antiquated funding system that we have in place. If you think about your body, your body grows and it ages as you grow. In doing that, your body have a tendency to need services. And what we do with our body is we find doctors and specialists who we go to maintain our health. We go to those specialists and those doctors, and we either have insurance or we have dollars that we pull out of our pocket. But we figure out a way to pay those specialists and those doctors to take care of us and maintain us so that our lives will be extended. But with our infrastructure system, our transportation infrastructure system, we have decided to treat it a little different. We do monies, and we put small amount of monies in it each year, but when we did the 87 highway program, and I wasn't here, but the individuals who came here before us, in 1987, they put together an infrastructure system, and they came with a funding formula to say that they wanted to build a 4-lane highway within 50 miles of every residence within the state of Mississippi. And they put enough money in place to do that. The challenge that we have today is that they did not put any insurance in. They did not give us a lottery that we could go and win and build it or maintain it. They did not tell us we could go and win a jackpot and take care of it. They said that we're going to give you the money and we're going to build it, and then we got to maintain it and do that. Well, as we have seen, we now have some 16,000 bridges, just as an example, in the state of Mississippi. And of those 16,000 bridges, about 22% of them have been posted and they are deficient. What that means is that we have a problem with those bridges, and as those bridges deteriorate, it creates a safety measure as well as it creates a problem for our commerce to be moved to and from. We have a situation now where we're into the bicentennial, and we are encouraging individuals by the busload, by the van load to come into Mississippi. We've done a good job with economic development in the tourism area and heritage. We have put up what we call trail markers. And those trail markers are all over the place, just like our businesses are. They own, many cases, they own roads that have these deficient bridges. And many of those buses are coming in during this bicentennial will probably have to cross some of those bridges to get to some of those markers. We are jeopardizing those tourists. We're jeopardizing our school children. We're jeopardizing those businesses that are across those bridges when companies have to go around and trying to deliver the products and goods to them, causing those bridges to go, those costs to go up. Well, with that, I think in my getting ready to sit down is we need to think about it in this manner. We need to look at it from the point of view that President Ronald Reagan did in 1982. President Ronald Reagan came in, and when he did his State of the Union message, he basically said to we the citizen, I am not going to raise your taxes. I am not going to raise your fees. I'm going to maintain government, and I'm going to downsize government. And that's a good approach. And I want to applaud the leadership, both the Lieutenant Governor and the Speaker, and those who work with the budget. I want to applaud them for having looked at government and figured out some ways to improve government's operation while at the same time saving dollars. But I want to be like President Reagan. I want to look at the situation and understand that if we are going to have the ability to move our commerce, if we're going to have the ability to make sure that our bridges and roads are safe, then we have to invest in them. And what President Reagan did was, he looked at, after saying that he wasn't going to raise taxes, he looked at the user fee, and he came to the conclusion that it was only 4 cents a gallon. But in order to have safe highways and do the things that we need to do to move the goods, he decided that he was going to go against what he had said and said he was not going to raise taxes, and he raised it by 125%, and it went from 4 cents a gallon to 9 cents, and we did well. Our fathers ahead of us in Mississippi in 1987 did basically the same kind of thing. So we really cannot afford to kick the can down the road. Now, if I was to do a survey with you in here to take you back to what the speaker said, that you need to give us the assurances that it's not just us, because the individuals that I've just called their name, Busby, the speaker, the lieutenant governor, all of us are supportive and we want to do things. But if I would ask you the question, all of you who have talked to each of your legislators and each of your supervisors and each of your mayors, because it has to come from the local government as well as the state and the federal, have you talked to those individuals and told them that you wanted to see more money and you wanted to see fees and taxes or whatever increase? If I would ask you that question, probably I would see very few hands that go up to say that you have talked to them. That's the problem. It's not us. We are responsible for making sure that we voted in, but we need you. We need you to communicate to each of us and let us know, because raising taxes and fees is very difficult. And the closer we get to an election, a little bit more difficult it gets, because we are concerned about how you're going to react to it. You must communicate to each of us in this capital. You must communicate to your board of supervisors, because they need some skin in the game also. You must communicate to the municipal league and say to all of us, we understand what Ronald Reagan said and did, that it's important that we have an infrastructure system capable of delivering our commerce and going to keep us safe. That's what we must do. So my challenge to you is, we appreciate your coming to the Capitol today. We want you to continue to come and do the business that you're doing, but we want you to talk to us and let us know that this is something that you want done. Go back to the counties and tell the boards of supervisors. Go back to the cities and tell the mayors and the municipal folks. Tell the superintendent of education, you can't afford to have 22% of the bridges that these buses are crossing. So tell us. And I think when you do that, we'll see a difference in the attitude about making it happen. Because again, if you say you don't want your taxes raised, and if everybody in the community is saying you don't want your taxes raised, it's going to be very difficult for me to vote to raise the taxes. But we know, again, we can't win a jackpot. We can't win a lottery and pay for roads and bridges. And if we cut Department of Transportation in half, I'm not sure that we would have enough money if we need $350 to $400 million a year to take care of it. So we got to look at new ways of taking care of it. We have not raised our fees since 1987. And the last thing I would say to you, in 1987, if gasoline at that particular time was 79 cents a gallon, we collect the same amount of money today that we was collecting when it was 79 cents. So it doesn't matter. If gasoline goes up to $5 a gallon, based on what we are doing right now at the 18 cents, we're going to collect the same amount. When you know and I know that in 1987, when you pull up to a service station attendant put gas in your tank, your water was free and your air was free. Today, if you pull up to a service station, you put the gas in your tank, you pay for your water, and you pay for the air. We have not changed the situation with the gas. And that's a challenge that we have to have. So again, I want to thank Mississippi Economic Council for all your support, and I encourage you not to just assume that we know what to do. Tell us to increase fees or increase taxes or find new money to take care of our businesses and our children and our tourists and all other individuals who are going to travel our highways and byways. Thank you.